Well, hello. I see we got a few people here in the room. Goodness sakes, let's see who all we have here. So far, anyway. Brad, BC Truck. Good to see you. Bill on a Rock Homestead. Crazy Gamer 123. Duncan 1900. I just saw you over the weekend. Geeky Gardens. Inside Kate's Kitchen. Mimsy's Gardens. Serenity Mountain Homestead. Small Town Southern Housewife. And Smudge has snuck in the back door here. The Off-Grid Homesteading Woman. I don't recall that name before. And Sherry is here. So, Small Town Southern Housewife. I was in Ohio on the 5th and 6th. It was so cold there. So, hang on here for just a moment. Okay. So what were you doing in Ohio? That's what I'm curious about. We weren't here. In Ireland, there's a bad storm right now, and it's 12:02 a.m. Mari. Grandma Rosa's Homestead. Geeky Gardens. Okay, who was it that was in Ohio? Small Town Southern Housewife. What were you doing in Ohio last weekend? That's what I'm curious about. So anyway, I thought we would maybe kind of get back to basics on the editing. And I really don't have anything real big prepared, but what I do have is I do have my GoPro here that has a little tiny bit of footage on it. Not sure if it's any good or worth looking at.
She was in Ohio helping her daughter move back to Atlanta.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. Okay, I'm looking for my my little GoPro here, and I'm not seeing it. I bet you all go through stuff like this. Brad, well, I've got you in here. Bandana Grandma. Good evening. How was your trip home?
She's not home.
Oh, hello from a motel in Chattanooga. I have an aunt that lives down in that vicinity someplace. So, Brad, BC Truck, I'm curious, are you having fun with your new camera yet? New IMD. Okay, well, there's always more than one way to do this. All right, don't anybody go anywhere. I'm going to go drop this little SD card in the reader. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do here is just give myself a directory to put this in. It's a new folder, and I'm just going to call this Tuesday Show. And we'll grab whatever
Carrie says I haven't figured out how to get video off my phone and onto my laptop. Using the cable doesn't work. Pics are transferred but not video.
you should be able to transfer them the same way as you do the pictures. I guess, I'm sorry, I'm not showing you folks what I was doing. So let me bring this over. I'm simply copying the whatever MP4 files I had on the GoPro. I'm just copying them to an empty directory here in on my computer's drive. Table Full in the Woods. The wife told me not to watch this.
Read that over again.
A Table Full in the Woods. The wife told me. The wife told me to watch this. Oh, okay. All right, so I have those moved over to the hard drive. And here we have Filmora up. So I'm just going to bring them into here. I have no idea what all is on those 4 files, but I made a directory to put them in. It's called it Tuesday Show. This is interesting. There we go. And for those of you that have these unexplained little hiccups, I feel for you because I've got them going here right now. All of a sudden this is...
Why does it always ask about the proxy?
I guess I need to ask first, why does what always ask about the proxy? Because I'm not sure what exactly you're referring to. Okay.
They said it was just on your screen.
It was just, all right, hold on here. All right, I know what you're asking about. The way that the GoPro recorded the film, or recorded the MP4 file, is in a different setting than what the Filmora is currently set at. The GoPro, for example, was recording it at, I believe it was 60 frames per second. And this is currently I guess I need to go look. I don't want to tell you wrong here. All right, this is the video that I imported was 1920 by 1080 at a frame rate of 59.9401 frames per second, using the AC codec, 2-channel for the audio, 48,000 hertz, 16 bits, the bit rate of 187, tells the file size, tells the duration. So this gives me all the information on this one particular file that I just put in here. And I believe I can find my preferences in here. Well, I thought I could, so I will have to, but this is what the difference is. What it's asking you about a proxy, it says, do you want to make a copy of the file off to the side to increase the performance, especially on a machine that doesn't have significant horsepower to run it through. So that's what it's doing. It's saying, I can make a copy of this file that'll make things easier for you to do your file.
They said thank you.
You can do that at any time out of the menu here. I'm a little disappointed I wasn't able to show you very quickly just where this is at. can't tell you why it's hanging. And I'm not happy about it, but obviously you're seeing when I have issues here as well. Okay, let me slip my headphones on so I can hear what this is doing. This happens to be a little bit of footage. And I'm not even gonna screw with it. We're gonna close it and start over.
Is there some place to get different cheap free music for your videos?
There are a lot of places to get free music for your video. The further you deviate away from YouTube, just as a forewarning, the more likely you are to receive copyright claims against your video. Even if the site tells you you can use the music, you may still have to fight to use that music. I just went through a situation with YouTube, and I'm not done with them yet. On Thursday nights, we were doing a kind of a support stream to try to help people get some more subscribers and give them some suggestions on setting up their channels, perhaps some different things that they should put in, some things to leave out, creating playlists, creating banners, telling them how to put links in. And we used a wheel to randomly pick a party to put on the screen. So I was playing music in the background directly from a site that I have the rights to all their music. But because I had a large playlist of that music and I randomized the playback, I had no way of knowing exactly what song was playing at any given time. I got a copyright claim. Actually, I had, I think it was 6 of them on the same video. This is where a representative, in other words, a third party that has taken the rights from a creator, has the back end into YouTube and gets a flag notification that some bits and bytes in this video match a sound sample that they've submitted. So they go in and they put a claim on the video and said, oh, you have copyrighted music on this, so we're going to put our advertisements on it, and we're going to collect the money. We'll let you show the video, but we're going to take the money it represents. And I'll just ask everybody here, do you want to hear a little bit more about this? If you do, I'll go a little further. And if not, we'll go back to the editing.
Twin Cedar Farms has a question.
Okay, what's the question?
How do you go live from the live schedule page?
All right, say the question again.
How do you go live from the live schedule page?
How do I go? Oh, well, I broadcast using OBS. So whenever I'm ready to go live on OBS, I just say stream now. And I don't care what the schedule thing says to do. I go into the stream now settings right here. I can just show you. I go into the stream now settings. I change the thumbnail to what you guys saw for you to set on the screen. And I schedule the next stream. I do this within the hour of the time that we're going to go live. I don't do it days in advance or hours and hours in advance. I do it sometime within 1 hour of when I plan to go live. Then when I go live, I just simply hit the stream now button on OBS and you are connected to me. So I will kind of ask here again, do you guys want to go back to the Filmora, or do you want to hear more on the copyright issues? So I'm kind of watching the chat here. YouTube copyright, please. All right. So anyway, what I did with this particular video that we're getting to here is I went and I appealed all of the copyright claims that were struck against this video. And this is the last one that I have in mind here. All but one of them, and it was the same company for every one of these individual claims. They released them all except for this one. Now, this is what it looks like when you get, number one, when you get this. This is not a strike. This is a copyright claim. And they are saying that the content, of course, is a sound recording, Fat Fighter Joe Athlete sound recording. The match is from 1 hour 15 minutes to 1 hour 17 minutes 4 seconds. And the claimant is AdShare MG for a third party on behalf of Hot Ideas 2014. If you notice here, it's monetized by the copyright owner. So whatever money, and believe me, this is not a lot of money, but whatever money this video would have made for us, which was maybe $3 or $4, they just took from me. That's really what it boils down to. And you say, well, you know, it's not a lot of money. Why are they worried about it? Well, they do this to thousands of videos. And most people say, I've already appealed this once. So they said the dispute wasn't approved on this one particular claim. And it claims up here that the claimant has reviewed their claim and confirmed it was valid. was valid. You may be able to appeal this decision, but if the claimant disagrees with your appeal, you could end up with a strike on your account. So YouTube is pretty much warning you right now. You can appeal this, but you better have your ducks in a row. Here is the problem that I have with this particular piece of video. Right here, this says play match. And I'm going to play this. You'll be able to hear it. Obviously, being an hour into the video, it takes it a minute here to get it spooled up.
Thank you, Dead Insight.
So the names that are on the right-hand side of your page here, these are the names that have been captured for the next wheel spin. All right, can you folks hear the music in the background?
Toasted Rabbit said they're not there. Nope, they aren't. Okay, no problem. Cut.
Okay. So that's what they claim is their music, that little bit that you heard in the background. There were some 60 songs that I had in a randomized playlist. I have no idea which one that is. If I could definitively identify that particular song and grab it by name and show where I have that and I have the rights to play it, I could fight this. But if I don't have that definitive named song where I actually have that particular clip in hand, I don't want to do that.
What's the difference between copyright and strike?
Well, the reason that there's no strike here, the reason there's no strike is because they just claimed it.
They're asking what the difference is.
Well, the difference is a strike would penalize the channel. If we received a strike, I wouldn't be able. Now the rules they've just changed. But back when this was originally there in the way that I recognized the strikes, we wouldn't be able to live stream for 90 days. It would shut off all of our live streaming privileges. That's the first strike. And then if you have a second strike within a certain amount of time, it gets worse. The penalties become worse to the point where they could actually delete your channel, take your channel away.
Would it be better to just pull the video and redo it?
If this were a standard type video, absolutely. In my opinion, that would be the way to do it. This was a live stream. This was a 4-hour live stream.
They can't hear you. They can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Test 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Because I can't see the chat. Can you hear me now?
No.
Really? Test 1, 2.
Okay. They said that's better. No, it's still low.
All right, I'll turn it up a bit more. Hopefully you should be able to hear me now. The difference, where am I at here? Because this third party put a copyright claim out on my video, they've just simply said, oh, you can show it all you want. We're just going to collect all the ad money that it makes. You have the ability to dispute that. You have the ability to try to remove that song, in which case they have no recourse. In other words, everything would be fine and hunky-dory at that point. Somebody asked, well, why don't you take it down and redo it? This particular piece was a live stream. It was a 4.5-hour live stream. If I make any changes to this, all of the chat that rolls up and down on the side of this window when it's played goes away. So if you have a live stream that you want to keep the chat up and down the right hand side where you guys are all typing back and forth now, you cannot modify that video. So I'm in the position with this video, there's nothing I can do with it. I can either just pull it down, and I may do that. Like I say, it's not a lot of money. If I knew exactly what the tune was that was playing right then, and I had that tune in hand, and I could go out to the Audio Hero website and copy and paste the license that I have to use that particular song and present it to this AdShare MG, then game over. They couldn't do anything. But here's what you find if you just go do a search for Google AdShare MG. And I just really quick here did a Google search. Got hit by copyright claim by AdShare MG. False AdShare MG claim on my own song in my own video. YouTube scam Google groups. AdShare MG for third party. Anything except housework. How to resolve for third party copyright claims. This AdShare MG is noted for this kind of crazy stuff. But there's not much you can do about it. And we can go just a step further here. And I mean, we could go out in the weeds real deep on this, but I'm just giving you some sources here. You can go look and spend as much time as you want. But this will sometimes get to the point where it's their own music that they perform themselves, and all of a sudden they have it strike against them. Last year, at the gathering, just over a year ago, Tommy Alderman sang a song. Help me, what was the name of that song he sang?
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace. And we recorded it. Now, Amazing Grace is, that's open. The song is open, but the crazy nuances around the musical copyright issues can also evolve around the style it was done and this and that and the other thing. Anyway, we received a copyright claim on that. So the absolute best way to get to have your ducks in a row as far as music is concerned, if you can just re-upload it or take the music out of it, that's the easiest thing to do. On the other hand, if you're a poster that, or a creator that when you upload a video, an hour later you've got 2,000 views on it, you're not going to want to do that.
Are there licenses that help to prevent copyright issues?
Let's see if I can. Okay. All of the music that is available in YouTube. For example, they have two different types of music and sound here in YouTube. And they are distinguished in either no attribution is necessary or there must be an attribution made. And what that means is you have to put something in the description somewhere on that you were using this music. So just for example, attribution required. All of these songs that are under here now at this point all require this to be put in the description. You're free to use this song and monetize your video, but you must include the following in your video description. So it's just a cut and paste right here. Put that in, and this is your license that says you can use it free of charge. There's others within the YouTube library. There's nothing to have, and you can search on them this way. Now, if you from another site, if you have a TubeBuddy membership, and I encourage everybody in here to check out TubeBuddy. We have a link in the bottom. If you click on it using that link, and should you decide to purchase something, I get a little bit, as you can see right here. I haven't earned a dime, although in February we had 80 people click through there, and in March we had 23. Nobody's actually bought anything. But that's okay. There's a lot of free stuff on here that is very good. Audio Hero has a website. 250,000 premium royalty-free music tracks and sound effects. So we'll go into here, and you have to go in this way. So all of these songs I can use. Over 250,000 of them. Here's the licensing. I need to do it this way.
Did you get all your music from the YouTube library?
That's where I get most of the music. I do use some music from here. All right, here's the terms and conditions of the licensing agreement through Audio Hero. And this pretty much spells out everything about all of the songs on their website. They all make notations here on copyright infringement, serious offense, blah, blah, blah. things you are not authorized to do. You can't resell any of the music from on here or anything like that. But it does allow you to use it. And if there is a claim against you, you can have the clip that you have downloaded by name, copy this entire piece of what you're allowed to do and make sure that you were only doing what you were allowed to do, and you are allowed to put it into a YouTube video. And you can appeal that claim against your video from companies like the ones that's gone after me on that one particular song. The song came out of this library here. I had about 60 of them downloaded into a playlist, and I just randomized the playlist because obviously we were going for a 4-hour stream. I didn't want music just going into a constant repeat type thing. So I don't know exactly what song was playing. I can't hear it well enough, and for me to pick it out, it's not worth my time. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Susie Bandana in here also has some other sites. There's a lot of sites out there that allow you free music to use. There are also sites that you pay for. Obviously, this is a site that at Audio Hero, if you just went into there directly, you would have to pay for downloading those songs. Because of the deal through TubeBuddy here, I get 20 free downloads every month from their library of over 250,000 royalty-free music tracks. The downloaded audio license for YouTube videos only. In other words, I can't create these into, let's say, a project for a game on a phone. I can't use some music for some other production. Maybe I'm making let's say I'm making a radio production, an advertisement for somebody, and I want to use some music in this advertisement for Joe Blow Company to advertise on the radio. I can't use the music from here to do that. That would involve a different type of licensing, a different purchase agreement. Juke Deck is another music source that's in here that's free. These are all computer generated audio tracks. There's no shuffling here. You play them. If you like what you hear, you download it. Epidemic Sound is a big one. They give you a 25% off YouTube subscription for a year, and you get a 30-day free trial. I have not put any money into this. But I believe Susie can also help anybody in here. I'm sure she has got some sites in her back pocket that she has gone out and I read it helps put a recording date and the advanced settings of your upload. North Star, I'm sure that that's fine, and I don't want to go out in the weeds on this. Anything you can do to quote unquote protect yourself is fine, but there comes to a point where, geez, is it really worth your time? Worth your time to start doing all of this crazy stuff? We're on here to have fun. There's nobody on this channel here tonight, although I'm sure everybody would love to have this as a full-time job and be making 6 figures. There's nobody in this chat And I highly doubt that anybody in this chat will ever reach that status.
Brad's saying try to use SoundHound. Oh, you have the chat up. I'll shut up.
I don't know what you said.
Brad is telling you to use SoundHound.
Oh. Okay, yeah, what Brad told you is saying on your phone. There is there's a program on your phone called SoundHound that will listen to a sound being played and try to identify the music. And Brad, I have done it on that particular piece and it doesn't have any idea what it is. Run a Creek Farm, yes. So if you want to make 6 figures, you need to teach me. You need to be sitting here doing this and helping everybody out, because I'm not going to get there. I know that. Well, it depends on how many zeros you count on the right side of the dot. Did Bandana comment in here earlier at some of the sites she's found? Because I know she looked for music a while back and found some. But if you just do a Google search on royalty-free music, there are other sites out there. And there's even some. There's some different YouTube channels that promote royalty-free music that they either create themselves or somehow have links to it. And in many cases, you just need to link back in your description to where you got the music from.
North Star Prepstater, I've read that it helps to put a recording date in the advanced settings of your upload. It's a layer of protection to prove that the copyright was good at the time of recording.
Yeah. The problem with that is what are you trying to prove at that point? And just exactly what, in other words, what is somebody going to want to see? These people creating these flags against your videos for sound copyright infringement, where they put a claim against your video, they're not going in there and even listen to the video. Here's where it really gets stupid. YouTube has bots that look at the back end of videos, at all the metadata in the back end of the videos, all the ones and zeros flying by, and they all create different patterns. If certain patterns match, they go against a database that all of these other companies have supplied to YouTube and said, anybody plays this, we need to know about it. So it's actually almost like YouTube on the back end, or somebody else's bot that has API calls into YouTube's back end these copyright infringements can frequently happen instantaneously before anybody's ever had a chance to even view the video. They pick it down to the second in the video, to the hour, minute, and seconds into the video, when it starts and when it stops, and it's just crazy. So if you appeal it, they have 30 days to even acknowledge your appeal, at which time they have to do something. So you'll get an email stating that, yep, you've appealed this, and then sometime within the next 30 days, you'll get an email back either stating, okay, they withdrew their claim, or they say the claim's stuck. In the case of the file that I just showed everybody on here, there were numerous claims against that video, all by the same company in different sections on the video, but it was all by the same company. They released them all except for this one. Well, common sense, at least what's in my mind, common sense would tell you that if we had 6 instances on one video, and we went in and checked, and 5 of the 6, yeah, you were right, we don't have a claim against it, chances are pretty darn good that the 6 out of 6 won't be the same way, but that's not the way they do it here. And they don't have to, because there's no recourse against them. No matter how many times they falsely flag a video or videos, nothing can happen to them. See, they're not at risk of losing their channel. They don't have a channel to lose. So they're playing with everybody's pennies, making dollars. That's exactly what it boils down to, in my opinion. Yes, Mama Woods, you can watch this on replay. Absolutely, you can. You're going to get a Louisiana crawfish castle?
I'm really worried. I have no idea. Didn't know crawfish had castles.
Oh my. And for those of you that are in the room and maybe you don't know, Sherry and I spent this past weekend down in shorts weather down in southern Mississippi. Had a great time. Some of the folks in the room here were down there with us. And we were down at Deep South Homestead Gathering. It was a wonderful event. It was our 3rd time for their events, and they get better every time. Why have music at all if it's such a pain? Well, some people don't, and if you haven't added any music, that's fine. In some cases, and I'll go on to say it's not always music. As you all know, we do Monday night interview type shows. And 4th of July, 2 years ago, I created a preview of I forget what the channel was, but I created a preview, and I created a fireworks background. That's the only reason I remember this. It was for a 4th of July thing. I created a fireworks background that I played, and I got some video off the internet that I took and modified. Now, just where this video came from, I don't remember. but it was fireworks going off. And what I did was I ran it through my editor, added additional effects. I had 2 or 3 videos going at the same time, so it created a massive amount of fireworks in the background. As far as I was concerned, it was 100% a newly created video. And it got a claim on it for the video portion, not audio, for the video portion, where they said that it was their clip. Well, I didn't do anything with it. I think it only had 50, 60 views, and it just didn't matter. But I couldn't go back and say, well, maybe it started out yours, but it's mine now. I don't know. I might look at it differently today. They only give you a strike if you're monetized. More than likely. Well, I'm going to say yes and no. If you put something up, monetized or not, and you put up content that belongs to somebody else, the only way you can do that is if you have a reason to do it, like by fair use, or you have a license to do it. The copyright owner of the material that you copied on your site has some different options. They can say, well, you can go ahead and have your video, but I'm going to take advertising rights from it, or I'm going to split advertising rights with you on it, which is the most fair way to do it, because there may be a 2-minute clip or something of music that in a 25-minute video they're gonna claim half of the money. I mean, that's, in some cases they claim all the money. But if they really wanted to be flat out jerks about it, they could say, this is our content, you either take it down or I'll have it taken down. And if they issue a takedown order on that video because they do not want it shown, at that point, that is a strike against your channel. Does not matter if you are monetized or not, just doesn't matter. Okay, and North Star Prep Center obviously has had this. Now, they have recently made a change in the penalties assessed to somebody that runs afoul of their rules and regulations. I'm guessing most everybody in here knows the young fella down south, JT Farm?
Farmer JT.
Farmer JT. I don't know what exactly happened, but there was something that he ran afoul of. It might have been music, I just don't know. But they took away his rights to live stream for, I think, 90 days, something like that. That's not going to happen today. Today, your first instance is a warning. And all these rules just see if I can find it here real quick. Okay, this is their new system. The Verge has a article here published. Channels will now get a consequence-free one-time warning for their first violation. So they're overhauling their community guidelines with a new system for warning channels that break the rules. The new system is meant to be clearer and more consistent. It is also the first time in nearly a decade that YouTube has updated the strike rules. The biggest change is a new warning strike that YouTube will start using on February the 25th. That was less than a month ago. After a channel's first rule violation, we'll issue a one-time warning with no penalty, except for removing the offending content. So, and again, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. You can go in and you can read through all of the strike programs, the rules of the road that they have. So, folks, it's a little bit after 9, and I know that somebody's on. I'm looking for help over here, and I'm not getting it.
That 1870s.
That 1870s Homestead has a live stream on this evening. So everybody could jump over there and tell them you just came from us. Any last quick questions?
Jen wants to know if you're doing Filmora next week.
Sure. If you have any specific questions, that always helps me, folks. Something that I can plan to work around. So if you can come up with any specific questions, drop us an email. And wish everybody a wonderful week. Hopefully we'll see a lot of you on Thursday. Take care, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.